The El Paso County Development Services Department is co-located with the Regional Building Department in the Regional Development Center at 2880 International Circle. This is a convenient one-stop location for land developers, builders, contractors, and homeowners seeking review of development and building plans, applications for building permits, contractor licensing, and many other related services. Development Services is responsible for the development, implementation, and enforcement of the county's Land Use Development Code.
The Board of County Commissioners has adopted the El Paso County Land Development Code, which establishes the types of processes that are necessary to receive approvals depending on the type of project you're doing.
Land development impacts transportation systems with additional traffic generated by the development. It impacts drainage systems due to an increase in hard surface areas. There may be safety issues related to police and fire access, availability of water and wastewater treatment, the ability to maintain roads, compatibility with surrounding neighborhoods, location of public facilities such as schools and fire stations. These are all things that are taken into account by the Development Services Department through its Planning, Engineering, and Project Management Division.
The majority of the people that visit us are coming in for a simple set of plan approval. The majority of our business is decks, houses, small construction where they can walk into our front counter, and we're the first stop for most of those people. They bring a set of plans into our office, we review them over the counter by our administrative staff, and are able, in most cases, to take an action to approve those and send them to the sister agency across the building, the Regional Building Department, where they may require a building permit.
The process for a large project is much different, but it still begins with a phone call or visit to the front counter at Development Services.
And so our project may be, for example, a new development in the Falcon area. Their first stop is with our department. What do our plans show for that area? What is it going to require to get that development?
A little research is the first step.
We can best serve you, citizens of El Paso County, if we know what it is you want to do with your property. I encourage people to look at the Land Development Code, get an idea what opportunities are there on your property, and what processes might you have to go through in order to achieve those opportunities.
The next step in the process is an early assistance meeting with the developer, a project manager, an engineer, and a planner.
We'll sit down with the applicant or the developer, go through what their specific proposal is on a specific property, and go through all the things that they're going to have to do, or some of the obstacles that they're going to face potentially in doing what they want to do in order to develop the property.
If the developer decides to move forward on the project, the application process begins, and the development plans are submitted to staff for review and compliance with the Land Development Code.
The review process includes our staff as well as outside agencies such as fire departments, school districts, oftentimes state agencies such as the state water engineer or Colorado Department of Transportation, those types of agencies that review it for issues or concerns that they may have with regard to water or with regard to fire protection, site design, those types of things.
Once the staff feels comfortable that the project is in line with county code, it is then reviewed by the County Planning Commission. Volunteers who frequently hear hours of presentations and sift through volumes of documentation to minimize the adverse impacts of proposed development on surrounding property owners, and to make sure that it will not result in higher costs to the general public. The time spent by staff to review the applications and advise the developer is then billed to the development project.
The development application fees covers the cost of the staff that's involved in the review of the application.
After review by the Planning Commission, development plans then go on for a formal public hearing by the Board of County Commissioners, which has final responsibility under Colorado law to balance the rights of landowners to develop their properties with the rights of other landowners to use and enjoy their properties without adverse impact from their neighbors. Land use decisions are frequently among the most difficult and important issues determined by the Board of County Commissioners.
El Paso County Code Enforcement Officers enforce zoning and land use codes. Their mission is to protect the value of private property throughout the county. There are 2 code enforcement officers responding to residents' concerns. Nearly all of their investigations are as a result of complaints from neighbors worried about unsafe, unsightly, and incompatible activities in their neighborhoods. The most common complaints involve violations of county ordinances related to the accumulation of rubbish, weeds, and wrecked or inoperable vehicles.
We go out and inspect the property, and we take pictures, and if the complaint is warranted, we send a notice of violation, which gives the property owner 10 days to either bring the property into compliance or to call and let us know why they think that it is in compliance, or if there's extenuating circumstances, of course, we can extend that time period.
If property owners fail to respond to the notice of violation, it is presented complete with pictures of the problem to the Board of County Commissioners during an open public meeting on the first Thursday of the following month. This is an opportunity for the property owner in violation to come and explain why his property is not in compliance with the code. It's also an opportunity for neighbors to come and explain to the commissioners why the violation is threatening the values of surrounding neighborhood properties. Frequently, the property owner in violation will come to the commissioners and promise to correct the situation and will be given extra time to do so. But if the violation continues, the Board of County Commissioners will authorize the county attorney to go to court to seek a civil judgment against the property owner to pay for the necessary cleanup.
I would say 85% are anonymous complaints. We still do accept anonymous complaints, and that's the majority of it. Now, if we're out on a complaint and we notice a property that's even worse in the neighborhood, of course, we go ahead and open a file ourselves on that.
Most violations are cleaned up through voluntary compliance.
Majority are apologetic. They know the property's gotten out of hand. A lot of times spouses in Iraq, things like that. We've had a few that were not so nice, but for the most part, very, very friendly. You know, we'll get this done, and we work out a time frame, and it works out.
But a troublesome few become chronic.
This property was in Colorado Center. I've been working on the case for 4 years. We've had the property owner in court on contempt charges for not cleaning up the property for the past 3 years. So it just came to the point where we knew that the property owner was not going to take care of this, so we contracted it and had it cleaned up.
The property owner was billed for the cleanup. If he doesn't pay, the county treasurer can place a lien on the property.
These lots are owned by a developer in Stratmore Valley who's been sent a notice of violation for the weeds. Next, we're going to go by a property that I just took before the Board of County Commissioners a week ago that was on the consent calendar because the property owner was not present. So it was automatically approved for litigation for the county attorney's office to go ahead and proceed.
Of course, the good neighbor policy is always the best policy, but when trash, weeds, old tires, and junk cars get out of hand.
And we do work hard to get these properties cleaned up and go talk to communities about, community efforts to better your community. So that's what we try and do.
For more information on land use development and code enforcement, answers to frequently asked questions, and contact information, you can go to elpasoco.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page, open the All County Offices list, and choose Development Services.